Audible, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You were
So
saying
just-
something about composition domains functions.
What, Vignesh?
Composition of functions. You are saying the theory of
Once again, I have to write now. That's the problem. So composition of function means z composition f of x will be equals to z of f of x. So in this one, f of x is nothing but innermost, and this one will become outermost. If f from a to b and z from b to c, so these are the two functions, then the domain of the z composition f, domain of z composition f will be equals to domain of innermost function, that is domain of f, and codomain of z composition f will be equals to codomain of the function z. So only thing what you have to remember means, so just you have to remember, if you consider the function composition of any two functions, just try to remember which will be the domain of that function, because you may get confused with the function. So because the first function is z, so z means for the function z, which is the domain, b is the domain, right? So but for the composition from function z composition f, b will not become a domain, so a will become domain of the function. So which one will be innermost will be there, that one will become domain of the composite function. So for this function f from a to b and z from b to c, so we can't define the composition function f composition z. So we can't define. Okay.
AICTE on further.
Is that? So here what you have to observe means z composition f means the first function f function codomain should be equals to domain of the second function. Then only you can define the composition function. If you consider f composition z, so in that case z function codomain should be equals to domain of the function f. So since in the given function we have taken f from a to b and z from b to c, so the function we can't define the f composition z. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So once again, one more time you say, sir.
So z composition f means, so this is the actually first function, f is the first function and z is the second function. Okay. So what's the necessary condition means codomain of the first function, codomain of first function, that is f, should be equals to domain of second function. Is it right? Then only you can define the what is the composition of function, otherwise we can't define.
Okay, sir.
So in case for the set f from a to b, z from b to c, you can't define the f composition z, because so here, so first function which will become first function, z will become first function. So G is the first function means its codomain is C, but the domain of the function F is A. So those are different. So that's why we can't define F composition Z.
Okay, sir.
So next one, so important one. So because we will use these functions while using continuity or checking the continuity or differentiability. That's why these are important only types of functions. You will come to know how many times you have heard these words. You in your mathematics M1 to M4, almost all in every semester you might have heard these functions. First one is, so just I'm going to few whatever important and whatever related to our syllabus, because there is one function, onto function, that I'm not going through those definitions also. So I'm going through whatever needed. So that thing I'm going to define. First one is even function. When we say that function is even, what is the condition for function to be even? What is the condition for function to be even? Anybody? Z, what's that? Which is Fourier transformation you have studied, right? Fourier transformation,
Yes, sir.
Fourier series, Fourier series.
Yes, sir.
In that one, you have studied Fourier series of even function, Fourier series of odd function. One thing, and in +2 PUC, while studying the definite integral, so in case if it is minus infinity to infinity, the f of x is dx is there, means based on the function whether it is even or odd, we will decide what will be the value of that function. For example, just this is the beautiful example. So because you know, so you used also so many times, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of x dx, which is equal to, what is the value of this one? Anybody? If you want, I'll tell the function also. Some function if you want means. I'll tell one particular example, then you'll come to know. Minus infinity to infinity. In place of f of x, I'll take sin x dx. What's the value of this one? What's the value? What's the value of this integral? Integral over minus infinity to infinity sin x dx. You already studied multiple integrals. Also, you know how to evaluate the second, what's that, double integrals, triple integrals. But still, if you are not able to tell the first integral, line integral means, then what's the use of studying mathematics? That also you studied 4 semesters. And even in hardcore subjects also, especially EC students, they used to what's that, mathematics for the extreme level. Integration means every subjects, almost all integration will be there for EC, Rebelli also, and even in civil mechanical also it will be there, but compared to EC it will be little bit less. Is it right? Are you using or not in your hardcore subjects?
We are using, sir.
So then tell me what's the value of this integral, minus infinity to infinity sin x dx. Cos infinity, is it defined? Cos infinity. Do you know the value of cos infinity? Anybody? If you want to find out this type of integrals, then you should know these properties, even function, odd function, then you can solve it easily. Okay, I'll tell that one later. So first I'll tell the definition, I'll come into my point. So what I'm going to express, even function. When the function f of minus x equals f of x. So then we can say that the function is even function. So for example, so there is a function f of x which is equals to some x square plus x power 4. Now if you want to decide whether this function is even or odd, just you have to replace x by minus x. So just to replace in the given function by minus x, then you will get f of minus x which will be equals to minus x whole square plus of minus x 4 power 4. So which will be equals to x square plus x power 4, which will be equals to given function. Right? F of minus x equals f of x. So that means the given function f of x equals x square plus x power 4 is a even function. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So in general, how we can define means, for in case if you come into the polynomials, all the polynomials which are having even powers, then definitely if they are having even powers means definitely that polynomial will become even function. So no doubt about it. All the polynomials having even powers will become even function. So now I'll define one more odd function. R function. So the definition is f of minus x equals minus f of x. F of minus x equals minus f of x. Just I'll consider one example. F of x equals some x cube. If you replace x by minus x, then it will be minus x whole cube, which is equals to minus x cube. We know the value of x cube, so that is f of x. It will be equals to minus f of x. So this is the best example for odd function. So in general, any polynomial which is having odd powers, that one we can call it as odd function. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
No, only if you are taking this much time means if you are not getting, you should tell. That's also no problem. I want whether you are getting or not. That's so now I'll tell one function just to tell me whether. So the what you have to remember means based on this even function and odd function, just to try to remember the definition. If you replace in the function x by minus x, if it is equals to the given function itself, then it will be even function. After replacing x by minus x, if you are getting minus times of the given function, then it will be odd function. Just if you remember this much, it will be enough. So now I'm going to define few more functions just to tell me whether it is even or odd function. So just which is cos x. Cos x. F of x equals cos x. Is it even function or odd function?
Odd function, sir.
Yes. Odd function. Ignesh, repeat once.
1 minute, sir.
It will take little bit time this module, but it's so easy only. How many of you registered for a course as of now? Because I think yesterday was the last date, right, for registration?
Yes, sir. But that is for only for normal law, this one, sir. Like normal payment. Now on today onwards, it will charge extra, sir.
Okay, okay. Fine will be there, huh?
Yeah, 13th is the last date, sir, to register.
With fine.
Yeah, sir, with fine. Last
Oh,
date for registration.
okay. All of you registered?
No, sir.
Not registered. Why?
Sir, where is the link, sir?
It's
Link you
already
will
sent
get.
in the group.
Otherwise, just you can search Google in Gate. There also you'll get the link.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Actually, coordinators, they should tell you people to register. They were told earlier like that. Even they will pay from Carlos side like that. They told. I don't know exactly.
Yes, sir. I have asked in the group also, sir.
Okay. Whether they
They
told
told,
you only
they
paid.
told us to register and later, like seeing the attendance, or they'll give
Okay.
the
Okay. That time they will
refund.
pay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the point, f of x equals cos x. Is it even or odd?
Sir,
Kirtana,
Sir.
f of x equals cos x. Is it even function or odd function? What's the cos of minus theta? Is it plus cos theta or minus cos theta?
Minus cos theta.
Minus cos theta. Are you sure? So this is the problem. Cos of minus theta is plus cos theta. Then if you replace x by minus x means what you will get? Cos of minus x, if it is cos x means the same function you will get.
Even function.
even function, sir.
Then it will be even function. Cosine function is a even function. That's why you used to study while expanding a cosine series. For even function, you can expand the cosine series. And for odd function, you can expand the sine series. If the series is having only cosine function, then we call that is cosine function, cosine series, and it will be applicable only for the even function. And in sine series, so it will be applicable only for the odd function. It will be having only sine function. So that means no need to find out a0 and an. So that will be 0, definitely. Right. So that these things you are already studied in which one Fourier series. Is it clear now, even and odd function?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So now one more function, f of x equals mod x. Is it even or odd?
Odd.
Odd function.
Even function, sir.
Yes, sir. Even, sir. Even.
Yeah. If you are taking modulus means it will always it will
It
be
remains the same.
what's that, positive only. So that's why it will be even function. Okay, just to remember these standard functions. Modulus function, it is even function. Every polynomial with even power are even function. Every polynomial with odd power are odd functions. Cos x is even function, sin x is odd function. This much you try to remember. I'll tell graphical method how to decide whether the function is even or odd. So by using the symmetry, we can decide whether the function is odd or even. So just tell me what's the image of the curve f y equals x square and one more y equals x, because these are the best examples and we know nature of these two functions x square and x, right? So that's why it will be easy to decide how we can implement the graphical method to decide whether the function is even or odd, right? So now y equals x square means what type of function it is? Y equals x square, what type of function it is?
Even, sir.
Even function. So that is nothing but f of x equals x square. Y equals x square means. So next y equals x,
Odd function.
odd function. What's the image of the function y equals x? What's the diagram? How we can represent?
Straight line from origin.
Straight line, right? Exactly. Straight line. Somebody is telling, tell loudly. Who's that? Suhas, huh? Suhas,
Yes, sir.
it's correct only, tell man.
A straight line, sir. From origin.
Straight line? Straight line which passes through what?
To origin.
Origin, right? So that's important. Straight line which passes through the origin, because straight line means all the parallel lines also straight lines only. But we can't. That's not the image. What's the diagram of y equals x? This is the image of x. Image of y equals x. So and we know that mathematically, so that will become an odd function. So now you come into one more, y equals x square. What is the image? Y equals x square means it is a parabola. Right. So this is the function y equals x square. How we can define diagram? What's that graphically? So because you have nature of the nature of the function and you have diagram of those functions. Now just to guess how we can define in terms of graphically how to decide whether the function is even or odd by seeing these two curves, because these are the best examples to decide that thing. How we can define?
Sir, it will coordinate in second.
Coordinates. Coordinates. What coordinates? Coordinates means it will consist both x and y. So now first you come into y equals x square. So this image or diagram is symmetric. Is it symmetric about x-axis? Is it symmetric about x-axis? Yes or no? Just
Yes, sir.
about x-axis I'm asking. Is it symmetric about?
So no, sir.
No. Is it symmetric about y-axis?
Yes, sir. Y is symmetric.
Okay. So how we can define means diagrammatically, if the function is symmetric about, based on symmetry. Symmetry means it will be like a mirror image. Okay.
Mirror image, sir. Yes, sir.
Symmetric about y-axis. If any function which is symmetric about the y-axis or vertical axis, then we can say that the function is even function. Now you come into the second case. So is it symmetric about y-axis? Second one?
No, sir.
No. Is it symmetric about x-axis?
Yes, sir.
Is it symmetric about x-axis? Is it mirror image?
But
means
opposite
like
side.
this. It should be like this.
No,
Then it will,
yes, sir.
it will be symmetric about x-axis, right? It's not symmetric about even x-axis also.
Yes.
Is it symmetric about origin?
From center, yes, sir. Like,
Yeah. So this is symmetric about origin. Origin means the center point, 0, 0. So any function diagrammatically, if you want to say whether it is function even or odd, means just you have to show, you have to check the symmetry about that function. If the function is symmetric about the vertical axis, that is y-axis, then we can say that the function is even. And if the function is symmetric about the origin, then we can say that it is
odd function.
okay. So now just to take modulus of x. What will be the image of modulus of x? V shape, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is symmetric about which axis?
Y.
Y-axis.
So that means this is an
Even function.
Is it clear? Diagrammatic representation.
Yes, sir.
So next one, after even and odd function. So third type is modulus function. We are already discussed that one, modulus function. So next one, sinum function. So just I'll write the modulus definition first. Then it will be easy for us to define the What is that sinum function? Modulus x, how we'll define? 1 minute. How we can define modulus of x? What's the definition of that modulus of x? Modulus of x equals what? But I forgot to complete that which part, minus infinity to infinity. 1 minute, I'll complete that one. Minus infinity to infinity. Which one? Cos x I have taken, sin x I have taken. Sin x, right?
Sin x, yeah, taken.
Now what's the value of this one?
Minus cos x.
Minus infinity to infinity. F of x dx equals, this is the property of definite integral, 2 times integral over 0 to infinity f of x dx when f of x is
Minus even function.
even function. Okay, and it will be 0 when f of x is
Odd function.
odd function. So now can you tell me what's the value of integral over minus infinity to infinity sin x dx? Sin x, is it odd or even?
Sin it is odd, sir, but integrate will be cos. So
No. You should not worry about integration of sine. Only
okay,
thing
sir.
is based on nature of the f of x, you have to decide the value of that one.
So odd, sir. Odd function, sir.
Odd function. Then what's the value of this one?
0.
It will be 0. This is the beauty of this concept here, even and odd function. If you know that concept, you can, without thinking or anything, you can decide the value of integral over minus infinity to infinity, any function. If it is odd function, then you can, without checking anything, you can write the value as 0. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the main property of the definite integral. So just to keep it in your mind.
Sir, if suppose tan x, if it come, what will happen, sir?
Tan x is also odd function only.
Odd function.
Yeah, I'll tell how to do that one also. So directly we can't make that one. We'll decide whether it is odd or even function actually. So just what you have to do means tan x integral over minus infinity to infinity tan x dx. Okay, so this is your question, right?
Yes, sir.
So now what we can take means f of x equals tan x. In case if you remember tan of minus x, you can take it directly. Otherwise, what we can write means this one we can write it as sin x by cos x. Now our aim is to check whether it is even function or odd function. So that's why just to replace x by minus x. If you replace the x by minus x means it will be sin of minus x by cos of minus x. So sin of minus x means what's the value?
Minus sin x.
Minus sin x. And cos of minus x?
Cos x.
And it will become minus tan x. Minus tan x means it will be minus f of x.
So, yes, sir.
So if it is odd function means the value will be
Minus
0.
will be there. So,
minus.
correct. Odd
Minus is there means minus f of x it will become. That is the condition for odd function, right?
correct.
Okay, is it clear? So now we come into modulus function. Modulus of x. How we can define modulus of x? How we can define?
0 to infinity plus 6.
A 0 to infinity. Okay, 0 to infinity. What it will take value? 0 to infinity. Plus. Right.
Positive.
So I write it simply. It will be x for all x greater than 0. Is it right? 0
Yes,
to
sir.
infinity. Yes.
Minus x will be less than 0.
Yeah, minus x for all x less than 0. For all x greater than or equal to 0, it will be x, and for all x less than 0, it will be minus x. So this is the definition of modulus x. So now based on this, I'm going to define sinum function. So this is also one of the main function. So just to remember, sometimes what they will do is just they will give Sinum function, is it differentiable or not? Like that also they may ask some direct questions. That's why you try to remember this definition. Sinum function means it will be mod x by x. Okay. Mod x by x when x is not equals to 0, and it will be 0 when x equals to 0. This is the definition of sinum function. F of x equals mod what's that? We'll indicate it by some SGN of x. SGN of x equals mod x by x whenever x is not equals to 0. It may be positive or it may be negative, and it will be 0 for all x equals to 0. So we can write this one once more, means 1 for all x greater than 0, 0 for x equals to 0, minus 1 for x less than 0. So this is the exact definition of sinum function. Is it clear? For all the positive values, it will take the value 1, and at 0 it will be 0, and all for the negative values it will take the value minus 1. So this is nothing but sinum function. Is it clear definition?
Yes.
To you guys.
Sir, this all like types of function, no, sir? Even, odd,
Yeah.
single function, all.
Yeah, types of functions. Even, odd, modulus function, sinum function, even one function, onto function, bisective functions. These are the types only. So actually modulus function and sinum function, so we can't say exactly types. So these are the some standard functions. Better.
Okay.
Standard functions, these are. Okay, so and graphical representation of this function is, so for all the x less than 0 it will take the minus 1, and for all the x greater than 0 it will be 1. So like this is the sinum function what's the term? Graphical representation. So next few more important definitions are, I think you heard that word, I don't know whether you remembered or not, greatest integer function. Have you heard this one?
Yes, sir.
Greatest integer function.
Yes, sir.
What's the greatest integer function?
It will take
Yes, yes. The notation for this one is in between square bracket, in between x. Right?
yes, sir. It will be like straight line, sir. Like
Not straight line. You should not write straight line. Square brackets only you should write. Straight line, if you written, means it will be modulus.
sir, I'm saying graphical representation, sir. It will be like
Graphical
V.
representation. Okay, okay. So
It will be like V or it will be a
this
straight
one,
line.
what, Vignesh?
It will be like V or that full straight line, sir, from
No,
the
no, no,
origin.
it will not be V. It will not be V. So
It will be like straight, sir.
it will not be straight also. Greatest integer function, I think you are not understood the definition. Still, you don't know exactly what's the definition. So just to tell me a few values, then you will come to know better. What's the 1.4 greatest integer function of 1.4? What's the value?
1 only, sir.
1 only. Immediate integer value you have to consider. Right. So just to consider greatest integer of 1. What it will be?
1 only, sir.
1 only. Greatest integer of minus 1.4.
Minus 1. 0.
0.
Minus 4.
Minus?
Minus 4, sir. Minus 1.
Not
No.
minus 4.
Minus 1, sir. -1, sir.
Not -1 also. Immediate left means what? Which will become element?
-2.
-2. So now you may observe from the interval 1 to 2. Closed interval 1 to open interval 2. 2 is not included in that interval. Okay. 1 to 2. What will be the value of the function? You may consider 1.9 also. What will be the value of 1.9?
1 only.
1 only. Okay. 1.99.
1 only.
1 only. Only 2 is different, right? So now just to mark 1, 2, 3. So here -1, -2, upper side 1, 2. So this is -1 and this one is -2. So in the interval 1 to 2, it will take the value 1, right? So 1 to 2, this is the image. And from 0 to 1, 0 to 1 means what will be the value? Greatest integer function. 0 to 1, it will take the value 0.
0.
Less than 0 means it will take the -1.
Mm.
And less than -1 means it will take the value -2. Greater than 2 means it will take the value 2.
2.
How it is looks like? How it looks like?
Steps.
Here.
How it looks like? Yes?
Like step function.
Step function. The another name for this greatest integer function is step function. You can remember like this also. The name for another name for this greatest integer function is step function, because the image, the diagram of the function, greatest integer function, it looks like step function, steps. So that's why we call this one also as what's that? Step function. Is it clear? This is the image of greatest integer function. Diagrammatic representation. Is it clear, Vignesh?
Yes, sir.
Actually, in this the greatest integer function, we will define two more. I think I'll mention later if I come to know if it is there means I will tell that one. One is ceiling function. Just I'll mention the name. Ceiling function, and one more is floor function. Floor means upper value you have to take. Ceiling means backside. Lower value you have to take. So if it comes means I will explain that time again. Okay, floor function and ceiling function. So these are some standard definitions you should know while checking the continuity or differentiability of the any function. Okay, so this much is enough. After that, I'll enter into limit of a function. So before that, I'll take the attendance. 1 minute. Total 17 means only 14, huh? Okay. What's the date today?
8, sir.
8.
Okay. Anybody from C?
So totally how many students, sir?
Total actually they are given how many? 50, 60 students list they are given. That's why I'm not calling name one by one. But till now from the first class I'm observing only 18 or around 20 will be there. That also less than 20 only. Now you tell me what's the anybody from ECE?
Sir, Harshita.
Harshita.